Hello and welcome to the video presentation in which I show you how to create links in HTML. So we're going to look at internal links, relative links, and some external linking to other websites that you may be interested in. So back here, looking at the website All About Me that we started with, we're going to first begin with creating a table of contents so we can start to get a feel for what we're going to put on this page. So I'm going to create an H2 and we'll call this a table of contents, and then we'll just come over at the end here, we'll put in an unordered list here. And so we'll just start with each of my topics. So we'll put an LI here for brief history. And then we'll come down and do this for each one. And we're actually going to put one more in here because I'm going to have a link to my favorite websites. So we'll just throw it on here. All right, so we'll just update this. And you see here we just have the table of contents, and it's just these lists of our headings here. They don't currently do anything. But what I want to do is be able to link these to each of the headings. So to create a link, you're going to put in an anchor tag. So I'll create my anchor tags, and then I'm just going to click and drag this over here. Now notice the anchor tag is wrapped around a brief history, which is both inside of the LI. So again, that's part of that nesting, right? I open up LI, I open up the A, then I close the A, then I close the LI, all right? So this is an anchor tag. It turns it into a link, but it does require an attribute. So we'll do an href attribute, and this is going to reference down to some of my headings. And so this is creating an internal link. I'm going to need an ID in order to reference these H2s because I have multiple H2s. So what I'm going to do is come down here to each of my headings and give it an ID. So an ID is an attribute that is specific to one element. It can only exist in a single element. And so this ID for this element, I'm going to provide, I'll just say history. All right, and then this one, I'll give it the ID of family. This one, I'll just give it an ID of movies. And now, up here in my href, I can reference each of these IDs. So a brief history should reference the ID history. So hrefs can actually reference lots of different types of strings and characters. So if I type in here history, it doesn't quite recognize that what I'm looking for is the ID history. So in order to let it know that history is an ID, I put a hashtag with it. Now it knows to look for the ID history in order to reference to that. And so again, we can just kind of copy and paste this right here around my family. And then we'll just click and drag that to the other side of my family. And we'll change this from history to family. And we'll do the same thing here. And this time we'll change it to movies. All right, and we'll get to my favorite websites here in a minute, but this should be enough to kind of show you what's happening here. So we bring it up. Now you see the difference, right? These have hrefs, and they've been wrapped with an anchor tag. So now when I click on a brief history, it brings me to a brief history. Now to get back, I gotta scroll up. My favorite movies, there we go. You see it's bringing me to the heading, right? So what's nice about this is I can go down lower in the web page without having to scroll, right? But how do I get back, right? So we kind of like to create these circular paths, right? I have a link that takes me to that portion of my page, but what if I want to go back to the previous portion where I was just at, right? Where those links are. Now you can create kind of banners and these navigation bars at the top of your page with some CSS and things like that. We haven't gotten into CSS yet. So let's just start with doing some circular linking. So this table of contents seems to be a place I want to come back to a lot. So I'm going to give it an ID equal to TOC. And now, right before each of these headings, right, so history, once I'm done with the history, I'm going to go ahead and paste in another anchor tag, and this one I'll give TOC, and then of course I have to put something between my anchor tags, otherwise there's not going to be anything to click on. So I'm just going to put a back to top. And what that's going to do is, you see, I can go to a brief history, and then I can click on back to top, and it brings me back. Now, that back to top, I can just copy that and put it right here before my movies, and I can put it right here before I go back to my last one, which I'll put in here as an H2. And this one will be my favorite websites. All right, so we're prepping that. There we go. So we'll go to my favorite movies, kind of scroll down here, and we can go back to top. And that's circular linking, right? Okay, so that's an internal link. It links to some other portion of my current page by using IDs and hrefs. Now, what if I have a secondary page, right? You guys have all been to websites where they have a main page, maybe they have like a home page, a splash page, then they maybe have an About Us page, or a Contact Us page, or a More Information page, right? So those are pages within the same domain, and just allowing people to click and separate the pages. So you're not just scrolling to the very bottom of the page. It makes it look a little more professional. So in order to do that, what I'm going to do here is we'll come down here, and I'll give myself another H2, and I'm just going to put in here more about me. And then we'll just say, we'll throw an anchor tag in here. With an href. And now, this time I'm going to be linking to another page. And you see that this is kind of giving me some drop down here about what I've already got in this same folder, right? So you see this demo 2. I can just click on there. It's in the same folder. Another nice kind of syntax to use is this demo2.html. So I can put that in here, and I can say click here to go to get more information. We'll just say that. Okay, so let's go ahead and refresh that. And we come down here, to more about me, and there's a link. So when I click on there, it brings me to this secondary page. It's still under construction, that's okay. I can click here, again, that's circular linking. So I have a link on my first page to bring me to my second page. I have a link on my second page to bring me back to my first page. So just, again, circular linking helps you navigate back and forth within the page, helps you navigate back and forth to secondary pages that you might have for your whole website. All right, the last type of link we're going to look here is external links. So an external link links to somebody else's website. All right, some web page out on the internet is going to be linking, and there's no way to do a circular link to those pages, right? You can't put a link to your page on somebody else's page without their permission. So how do we handle that? We'll see that in just a second. So again, I'll do an unordered list here. Sorry. And we'll put some list items in here. And the first one here we'll put in here is W3 schools. All right. And again, we're just going to paste in here. I believe it's still, there we go. Let's take that out of there. There we go. So instead of using an ID, I'm going to need to use a URL. So I'm going to go back to my page. Let's just bring that up here. And we'll open this up and we'll go to w3schools.com. Or W3 School. That's it. So we'll copy that and we'll throw it right here. And now I have a link to W3 Schools in my list. But when I refresh this and I open up my page, let's go down here. There's the link. When I click on the link, again, it takes me away from my page. I'm no longer on my page. So whoever was visiting my page, I've just lost them. They're gone now, right? They can't come back unless they use the back button. But if they start navigating this page, I don't anticipate they're going to hit the back button repeatedly to get back to my page. So I want to create a nice, easy way to keep them on my page. And the way to do that is in here with the anchor tag, I'm going to give myself a target equals underscore blank. And so what that does is it allows them to open up a new tab. So you see they're still on All About Me. It's right here. But they've opened up a new tab in order to not leave my page. And that's what you're looking to do, right? You want to keep people on your page and just provide them with the ability to look at other information. They can navigate, they can do whatever they want, and they're still on your page. They can come back to you with one easy click, which is really what you want, keeping them there within a click away. All right, so those are links, internal, external, and relative links within other pages. If you have any questions, let me know. Hope you found this informative.